Welcome to
STM Talk.
We're in trances, going all to different places, different planets. Watch your aura pass me by, losing balance. What if we run out of time and second chances? Empty-handed. You like the fast life, you like to drive and get down and dirty, act like a bad guy. You want some love, you like when you feel it calling.
Like, it could be when an older person likes kids, so they decide to go online and talk to kids and pretend like there's someone else with them.
I feel like little kids are quite gullible. Obviously, if someone adds you, you're just not going to think anything of it. So you're just going to believe them. So I feel like they're quite easy target for older men or other people online.
Like they could buy you stuff, get you into like certain things that you normally aren't into, and then it could be a thing where like they're like, oh, I did this, remember when I did this, da 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 da, I feel like you should owe me back type thing. And they can kind of get you into a situation that you're not normally into doing, if that makes sense. So yeah.
So in a way, buying your trust in a way, or buying you things that they know that you maybe like or that you want. Yeah.
The old man has been grooming a person from young. The young person is not going to know anything better. So they're going to think that that's normal. And if the old man says, oh, it's our little secret, don't tell anybody. Obviously, the little girl's not going to tell anyone because she thinks it's normal, it's a normal thing to do. But realistically, she's being groomed.
The person that you would least expect it would be a person that could groom. For example, like one of your aunties could groom you. It would be a thing where like society is just like, no, women don't do stuff like that. They're more of the victim than a man or anything like that. So it would be a thing where if a woman did it, it would be least expected. So it could happen to anyone and be anyone.
I feel like it can happen anywhere, anytime, anyone.
Groom someone in your family because no one's going to expect it, no one's going to see it coming, and also you can cover it up by using the word, no, that's family, they wouldn't do that, they wouldn't turn like that.
No, that's true, that's so true.
When people our age say no, it's just like a blink of the eye, people turn their heads and they don't listen, like we're just little kids and we don't know what we're talking to, but at the end of the day, everyone's human, and if that's how we feel and we say no, we mean no. Like it's the same for anyone else regardless.
As young children, like 14-year-olds and stuff like that, sometimes, not even sometimes, majority of the time, people don't understand us or understand our feelings and dismiss it. And like more time when they dismiss it, the stuff happens again and again, and it won't stop.
And no one speaks up.
Yeah, because if you speak out, you already know that they're going to dismiss it, so there's no point in you speaking out, so you're just going to carry on again and again.
We try to call out for help or try to talk about what they're going through. People say, oh, you're only saying that for attention, you're only doing this to grab this person's attention, blah, blah, blah. But in reality, they're actually just trying to, talk about what they're going through.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So do you
Some have worn pajamas, some have worn leggings, literally. So it's a thing where, and that's how I would, if I was ever in that type of situation, I'd feel unheard because they would dictate on what I was wearing. Do you know what I mean? It's never when, oh, was you okay, da 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 da, what was you wearing, or exactly, like, oh, was you doing something, was you sticking out your bum, was you doing this to entice him more? There was just many questions, but it's just never about, like,
Why you actually done it.
yeah, exactly.
Wear an outfit that might be a bit exposing is for myself, not for you. It's the way I want to express myself to the world. Exactly. But people take it into different cases and they always like to say, oh, what was you wearing? you're asking for, it just don't make sense. Ask me if I'm okay instead of asking me those questions. Because at the end of the day, what I was wearing does not matter with what he did.
Yeah. Because he's the one that looked at me sexually. Like, I could walk out my house with leggings and an oversized top, and I would still be like, what was you wearing? But he, the person, they're the problem, because they're the one that looked at me in that type of way. So,
what would you say to someone or advise them that is maybe being groomed?
Advise them to call like a parent or a trusted adult, or I would like pretend to know them and like bring them to the side and say, oh, like your mom's calling you, blah blah, and like make them feel like they're safer where they are now.
I think that's very important, safety, yeah.
I'll tell them that it's always good to talk up, because sometimes keeping it will give you that bad mental health and stuff. So tell them to talk, say something about it, or at least tell someone that they trust.
Yeah, like we said, mental health, like anxiety, depression, sometimes we don't even know that we have it, but it can just, the symptoms can start by, like what you said, keeping things inside. So it's really, really important to,
It's obviously hard to speak up, but if you don't talk about it, obviously give you PTSD.
Yeah.
And like, give you random flashbacks of what happened. Could ruin your whole life.
Yeah, 100%, so true. Going back to that mental health,
I'll probably tell them to just speak up and don't keep it in, because the more you keep it in, it's just going to eat you up inside and it's going to make it even worse. And I would also tell them that to remember that it wasn't their fault and they're not the problem.
I think that's so important when you said it's not your fault. I think sometimes that gets missed out in today's society, and I think that's a really important point to hone on. It's not their fault.
I'll tell them to go to the person that they most trust and feel comfortable around, even if they don't want to tell someone that they don't really talk to.
Yeah, and that person, if you're comfortable, may not necessarily be a family. It may be a teacher, it may be a friend. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a family member.
It's not your fault at the end of the day, because you were violated, at the end of the day, and you was a victim. So you should definitely talk about it, especially with a trusted adult or the police or anyone.
Yeah.
You still need to talk about it and get it dealt with, because if you don't get it dealt with, then it's just going to be on your mind, and at the end of the day, you don't want it to happen to anyone else. So,
And I think sometimes we feel like it has to be an extreme situation before we speak up. It can be, like what you said, person grabbing their breast. Some people might say, oh, just get over it. No, it happened to you, and like we said, it's a violation.
Thank you. I would say speak up. Like, I know it's difficult to talk about it, but try your best to talk about it with a trusted person. And as they said, it's not your fault. And also that I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, you said it's not your, speak up and it's not your fault.
And that at the end of the day, it was like it's them, they did that to you. So it's not like you were the one who tried to lure them in or lead them on. They're the one who invaded your personal space and decided to do that to you. So it's not your fault, and to always remember to try your best to speak up.
Yeah, definitely. And there's Childline, there's also the Mix, which is support for young children under the age of 25. So there is access out of that. But honestly, thank you ladies for your time, your wisdom, just sharing your personal experiences and just really being honest and open. Because it's not hard, sometimes it can be hard to be open, but yeah, I think give yourself a round of applause.
Thank you for joining.
Changes to come, 'cause the light's just around the corner. Life must go on. What won't kill me will make me stronger. When I'm falling down on my knees, I will rise and try to believe that changes will come, 'cause the light's just around the corner.
If you or anyone you know has experienced grooming, please tell a trusted adult. You can also call The Mix, the UK's leading support service for young people aged under 25, on 0808 808 4994.